Hello, I'm Phil Svitek, 360 Creative Coach, and in this episode, I want to give you some pointers whenever you ask someone for a recommendation. And what I mean by this is like a recommendation for a job application, right? To be a reference specifically. You know, on job applications, you have to fill it out, and it's like, hey, can you name 3 references? That's what I'm talking about, okay? It can apply to other stuff as well, like a housing application if you like as well. Anytime, in that vein, right? But before I get into it, I would like to take the opportunity to invite you to subscribe if you haven't already. That way you get all the various episodes and lessons that I put out right when I put them out. Thank you if you just did, and thank you if you already were. It truly does mean a lot to me, as I hope it does to you. So, the biggest thing I have to say about this is, number one, ask the person that you want to provide that recommendation to be that reference for you. It sounds basic, but you'd be surprised how many times it doesn't happen. You'd be surprised how many times I'll get a phone call myself and be like, hey, this person listed at you as a reference. What can you say about this person? And, in that sense, I'm caught off guard. It's not a good feeling for me, and it certainly doesn't help the person that used me as a reference, And luckily I can kind of think fast on my feet, but, in the basic sense, the way I kind of describe it is, I work with a lot of hosts, and so if someone calls me about a job, I don't know if I'm recommending them for a host position, an acting position, or a producer position. And especially if they're a host and the job that they've applied to is a producing position, certainly the hiring manager is not going to want me to talk about their hosting qualities. They want to know if they can actually produce. In fact, the hosting qualities work oftentimes against them. So, set me up for success to be able to help you. That's number one. Number two, provide the person that you're asking for as a reference just basic information, and it's so intriguing to me. Like whenever someone asks me like, hey, Bill, will you be a reference? I'll say yes, and then I'll be like, okay, can you just refresh my memory and email me basic info of like when you started, how long, what are some of the stuff that like is notable that you've worked on, just so I have it clean and I don't have to go digging for it myself, and that'll help me. Just pretty basic stuff, really. And you'd be surprised how many people just, they don't get me this basic information, or they get it wrong. And it'd be different if they got it wrong, but it's on the job application, they put the wrong stuff. But the stuff that you'd be amazed how many times I get like a set of information that they send me. And then on the job application, when the person's asking me like, they'll be like, hey, so when did this person start? And let's just say, I'll be like, about spring of 2017. Like, okay, on their job application, they wrote winter of 2018. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, yeah, I guess it is winter of 2018. So then I seem like an idiot. Again, not really helping you, right? And really, it's just those things. It's as basic as that. It's, all the, It applies to the job application process as well, of like just following directions. You'd be surprised how many people don't get a job simply by not following directions. You take yourself out of the game. And in this sense, you're asking someone to be a reference for you. Fine, I'm sure they're willing most times. But help them. Give them the information that they would need. Set them up for success, because ultimately they want to help you. Right? That's what's so baffling to me about this, and why, I can't even be, there's no tips that I can even think of beyond this, simply because this is most of the stuff that I face. It's just basic stuff. So don't do yourself a favor. Help us help you, right? So that's what I have for you today. If you have any questions or thoughts of your own, as I'm sure you do, please comment down below or hit me up on social media at Svitek. Likewise, if you think this episode might be a benefit to somebody in your life, please share it with them. I certainly would appreciate it. So I appreciate you. I hope to see you next time.